not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And I know my last video, I said maybe it would be my last video. And I only said maybe, but you know, like Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying, I can't step away now, the game needs me. You know, you need me. So, but, you know, I want to talk about this concept of crabs in the barrels. You know, blacks are crabs in the barrels. We hear it all the time. And if you're familiar with my, you know what I'm saying, my channel, you know I always like to, you know, test these these popular slogans and so forth. And you know, let's go into it. I can understand what they're saying. You know, a black dude trying to rise up, whatever, and the other crabs and their pinchers, you know, grab them by the legs and pull them back down. And they want, you see what they don't want to see other blacks succeed. But you know, sometimes I gotta really think about that when I look at, you know, especially with the, you know what I'm saying, with the entertainers, a lot of the rappers, the comedians, you know, who had to get a black crowd, a black base, you know, as their launch pad, you know, and how their fan base wants them to achieve and will support them in their endeavors. Yes, I understand that, you know, people are going to have their distractors, they're going to have their haters, they're going to have people that's ain't, you know what I'm saying, that's going to look at them ain't shit. Maybe some people are going to try to sabotage it, but still, you know, a lot of popular black people, millionaires, started off, you know what I'm saying, with a black base, you know. But I think about it, you know what I'm saying, that the truth is definitely in reverse, if I'm using that correct term. You know, when a crab makes it out the burrow, and then he puts the lid on the burrow to make sure no other crabs exceed and reach his plateau. I think of the term head nigger in charge, and you know, and my mind kind of ponders on that. What do they mean? That means you're the head person in charge, or you're just the head nigger in charge? You know what I'm saying? A white man's, you know what I mean, is really running the whole show. Hence, by you have black people that may excel to a certain level at their job, and they're bragging about, like, oh, I'm the only black person on this level or whatever who made it to this position at my job, and they may not want to see other black people, you know what I'm saying, get to his same level or even to exceed past him and so forth. You see what I mean? You know, I like when you see a black person, you know, move into a white neighborhood, a white community, and then they'll talk about, you know, they're the only black person that lives on their block, you know, and they'll prefer it that way. Rarely would you hear a black person say, I'm the only black person that lives here. I'm like, dang, I wish other brothers would move in. I'm not saying that's true in all case scenario, but you get my drift. Now, I think about that movie, Good Fences, with Danny Glover and Whoopi Goldberg. And, you know, this is a unique movie because it was a 40 Acres and a Mule production. You know, Spike Lee was at the helm. I don't think Spike Lee directed it and so forth, but he definitely supervised the project itself somewhat. And we all know that Spike Lee and Whoopi Goldberg had friction with each other for the longest. So I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? The fact that these, you know, two black people can get over their differences, you know, and come together on this project, yeah, you know what I'm saying, that's something special within itself. But hence, in the movie, you know, Danny Glover's character, now I'm going to give out spoilers if you never saw it, but Danny Glover played Whoopi Goldberg's wife. They're a married couple. Danny Glover is like a lawyer who reaches to the status of a judge, and they move into an all-white enclave, all-white neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? They're coming up in life, and you know, in the movie, yeah, Danny Glover's character has to compromise his ideologies, you know what I mean, and his brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, to get his position. And then there's there's another character played by Monique. We know who she is. She moves into the neighborhood. Now there's another black person living in this neighborhood. this upper class neighborhood, and you know what I'm saying, Danny Glover's character doesn't like it. He tells his wife not to associate with her because they're afraid that their white neighbors going to think that they were the causeway. You know, they were the people that set it up for her to come into the neighborhood. You see what I mean? And then, you know, Monique's character had a whole lot of money. And then she ended up buying another house in that neighborhood where she's going to move her people in and so forth. And then, you know, spoilers, Danny Glover's character, I can't remember their screen names, sets that house on fire. You see what I mean? I'm like, he wants to be the, you know what I'm saying, the only dude on the block. You know, he seems like a type of person that wants to keep, you know what I'm saying, the crabs in the barrel, you know, and why he enjoys his life rubbing elbows with the snooty white people and so forth. And I think about black men in the business world, you know what I'm saying, and I particularly want to focus on Don King and P. Diddy. Now the thing is with blacks, now as much as we say we need to have all black this, all black ownership, all black company, invest in a black business or whatever, with black people we're still going to have a class war. You know what I'm saying? With white people it's race and class. You know, and if you think that, you know what I'm saying, the black people in the upper echelon won't exploit other black people, you know, or kick them down and so forth, I'm like, you're living in a fantasy. So that's another thing you have to watch out for. You know, but at least they'll recognize our humanity. You know, so a lot of these black men, business guys, you know, who put some, I think about Don King. And in Don King's career, he should have created 10 or 20 other Don Kings. You know, but if you ever seen the movie Only in America, which is an excellent movie, it goes in on how he really exploited a lot of black boxers. You know, did to them, you know what I'm saying, like I can't forget, one of the boxers he was dealing with said, like, he told him in the movie, like, man, you're worse than a white man. You know, and Don King will constantly use that black unity and all this black stuff or whatever. He's someone that'll grab a crab from the barrel, you know what I'm saying, make money off of it or whatever. Don't teach him the tricks of the trades, don't teach him the rules or whatever. And then when, you know what I mean, this crab has no more use for him, you know, just disregards, throw him right back in the barrel. You know what I'm saying? And some of these crabs figure out that they're, you know what I'm saying, right back at square one because, you know what I'm saying, Don King, you know what I'm saying, ripped them off. You know what I'm saying? Jacked them up or whatever. You know, robbed them blind. I think about P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have to be crazy to sign with this dude or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Every person that signed with him, you know what I'm saying, there's some kind of conflict. They end up, and Suge Knight too. I want to mention Suge Knight. They end up in debt, you know what I'm saying, broke, sometimes even with less money than they had before. Daz, you know what I'm saying, that nigga Daz Dillinger or whatever he calls himself now, has stated when he left Death Row, he only had like $300 in his pocket and a car. He didn't even have a place to stay. He was staying at some other dude's house or whatever, just a car and $300 in his pocket when he left Death Row, due to Suge Knight. So yeah, so we have to watch out about these guys that at the top, you know, who want to exploit, you know, other black men, you know, same way with the white man or whatever, and also keep them down in that barrel, you know, like, you know, the head crab in charge, you know, and so forth. Now, let me talk about this small corner of YouTube. Let me go into Tommy Sotomayor. I know. I think about this guy and his tiff with the Abai show. And you know what I'm saying? And these are two different people. Their channels give out two different vibes. And how Tommy Sotomayor thinks the Vibe show is jacking them. Yes, there's some similarities. And you know what I'm saying? And we all get influenced by, you know what I'm saying, someone or another. You know, I'm like Tommy does not have a monopoly on those clips he points. He broadcasts, you know what I'm saying? He displays on his channel. You know, I'm like, he gets it from somewhere else. He just like sits around and, you know what I'm saying, in lavish surroundings or whatever, and just, I'm like, to me, that's laziness. You know, I'm not saying the Vine show is different. I'm like, he uses clips, but you know what Tommy does is like, damn. Like, take Brian Bakes. You know what I mean? The video vigilante. I did a video on this guy. At least this dude goes out and films his material. All the material he displays on his channel, on his website, is shit that he got. He go out there with his video camera and go get it. As a Tommy, he's just like, you know, here's a clip. You know, I'm like, damn, how easy is that? You know, I'm like, my channel has more pizzazz than his. Well, I'm not that entertaining, but still, I'm like, 90% of my shit is, you know what I'm saying, it comes straight from my heart. You know what I mean? I don't like doing clips and bullshit like that, because that's not, you know what I mean? To me, that's not what my channel's about. I'm like, everybody does that. Everybody's doing their own bootleg news broadcasting. But still, I feel that even though they may, I'm not saying that both sides aren't, that the Vice show ain't completely innocent, but it seems like, you know, Vice show is coming up. Tommy wants to put that lid, you know, because he feels that, you know, he's, as I said, that Tommy wants to run a monopoly on what he's talking about. You know, I'm like, that's silly. You know, that's like somebody going out talking about AIDS awareness on the street corner, and then I hear what he's talking about, and I run over to my own street corner and talk about AIDS awareness or whatever, and this dude said, hey man, you're copying off of me. Yes, isn't our own purpose to get this message out and so forth? Yeah, but that's, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, wrap it up. But, you know, thanks for watching, and Sally forth.